Are you a Trekkie who does not have the social or sex life that you want? Are you introverted, awkward, nerdy, anxious, like I was, and you feel that this keeps you from connecting with other people in the ways that you want? Well, if that's you, then stop everything and bring your full attention to this video, because I'm about to share with you the 3 massive mistakes that Trekkies make in trying to create the love, sex, romance, relationships, basically the social and sexual lives of their dreams. Now, it's critical that you understand these mistakes and that you eliminate them. And if you do that, I promise you within the next 30 days, your results will skyrocket. Now, I also want to let you know at the end of this video, I'm going to give you a special gift that is valued at $500. So stick around and you will enjoy that when it comes up. I'm going to tell you a brief story, and then I'm going to share with you the 3 massive mistakes that Trekkies make. So before that, let's talk about Star Trek. Star Trek is hands down, obviously because you're a Trekkie, right? The greatest piece of literature ever created. It is one of the most intellectually challenging, stimulating, interesting artworks, the most manifold, fun, beautiful, highbrow kind of thing that you can engage with. And it actually is my first memory in life. I'm Louis Brandmeier, and I am nothing if not a Star Trek fan. My very first memory of anything in this existence was of being at the bottom of a playpen in California, seeing the opening theme song and sequence for Star Trek: The Next Generation on the television screen in the living room of our house. Dun 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 dun. Literally, this is my first memory. So you better believe this is important to me. This has made a huge difference in my life. This has opened my mind and actually also my heart to other people, to science, to philosophy, to the whole world in ways that would have been impossible otherwise. So I know that you're like me, and you value and you really appreciate the depths of what this thing is and what it means. Star Trek is a vision of a future where the world works for each and every one of us. It's a conversation and a community where the world works for each and every one of us. And this is my contribution to that community. So, into my story. My second major memory in life was being in daycare and seeing Captain Kirk. This is from a 3rd season original series episode, of course, you guys can probably name it, making out with a green-skinned alien woman. And when I saw that, I made a decision. I said to myself, that's what life is about. That's what the purpose of life is about, is engaging and connecting with the opposite sex. And, you know, the reason why there was such an intense desire for that at such a young age was because I did not feel lovable and I wanted attention. I had a hunger for affection, attention, significance, acknowledgement that was far out of proportion of anything that was healthy. And this continued throughout my adolescence. So, you know, as far after that as middle school, I felt so alienated from the people around me, so awkward and anxious, so different, so much a misfit, that my head was buried in William Shatner's ghost-written Star Trek novels in the back of my history class, rather than engaging with the people around me. In fact, while all the other guys were out motocross, bicycling on dirt tracks and having a lot of fun every weekend, I spent my weekends, well, reading the Bible, but that's another story, and watching Star Trek and reading Star Trek. So here's the thing, Star Trek is freaking fantastic, but not when you're using it to resist and avoid your life, as I was. It's very subtle, but we'll follow out the thread a little bit more. Come to high school, I read How to Win Friends and Influence People. I get into my head, you can actually flip the levers and the switches on people, that you can shift how they feel and what they think of you. And you can actually make them like you. I was convinced of this, and I made it happen, right? So if you're not in a space where you have people who like you, if you don't have enough people who like you, you don't have friends, whatever, this is something that can be changed. And I was so popular and renowned for my compassion, for my generosity, for my deep, loving attention with people, that I was known as Sweet Lou. And so we'll continue, right, into college, where finally this part of me from my adolescence surfaced in such a strong way that I gave my whole self to the pursuit of sex, of love in the form of physical intimacy. Because, as you may remember, I had decided that I needed attention, I needed love, I needed acknowledgement. And this was to an unhealthy degree because there was a divorce and my father had left when I was 3 years old, and I had decided that I was worthless and unlovable, and anyone who loves me will leave me anyway. And so all of this, building a social set of skills, building the ability to have sex, and I had more sex with more women in my life than most men will, statistically, throughout their whole life in that period of several years. Now here's the thing. Success without fulfillment is failure. I'm going to say that again. Success without fulfillment is failure. And I had success in that I had a lot of sex and I created a lot of connection, but it was a failure because I wasn't actually fulfilled. I wasn't actually satisfied. I went through a year where there was something going on with me and I kept getting phone numbers from women. And I was craving their acknowledgement. I wanted to feel significant through them giving me their number, calling me back, and having sex with me or going out on a date with me. And when they didn't do that for me, I got so depressed that I was suicidal. And I did the work, right, to figure out and fix what was going on in the outer world where I wasn't producing the results that I'm committed to, which is sex and connection, right? I wasn't doing any work on me. And so the next year, I figured out the Rubik's Cube, and I went back out there and I had more sex more often than I had in any year previously. And it still wasn't fulfilling. I had my heart broken, in fact, over and over and over, week after week, month after month, by beautiful women who just wanted sex. But inside, I wanted deep, nourishing love. And I thought I was only going to get it through sex. So I share this story, and I'm going to continue and complete this story so that you hear that I gained these 3 massive mistakes through failure, through pain, through suffering, through trying over and over to figure this realm and this world out. And so we'll continue a little bit. It got even worse than this. The next year, I was working at the best job, maybe 5 hours a week at a brain supplement startup, with people who I loved, with ample time to travel, work on a flexible schedule, engage in activities to build the business that were absolutely fun for me. And what did I do? Because I was so committed and so stuck on chasing sex and chasing validation from other people that I started to slip up at work. After 3 years, I made mistakes that could have dramatically damaged a critical production run for our product as we were beginning to advance onto the regional stage throughout Texas and advancing towards the national stage. So my boss, and I say this lovingly because they gave me a trip to Amsterdam as part of my severance package, fired me, lovingly fired me. So I realized, oh crap, there's something wrong here. I'm seeking something that I'm not gonna find, and I'm seeking something that's destroying my life, causing it to become unmanageable, but yet I continued, right? So I instead decided, I need to be in a monogamous relationship. And that's where I'll get all my validation. Nope. Still codependent, still suffering, still crying, and really messed up when she would disappear for days. And so I thought I could get all my social and sexual needs fulfilled and met through her. Boy, was I mistaken. So it came to a head in early 2017. I got so triggered with a feeling of abandonment and sadness and frustration that I threw a chair through the window of my girlfriend's house. And I cleaned it up and I got responsible. But what I saw in myself was the need for me to love me, for me to work on me, for me to build my life. So I took 90 days off from orgasm, dating, relationships, sex, porn. I put it all to the side and I said, it is time for me to give myself the love that I haven't gotten out here, the validation, the affection, the approval, the acknowledgement, the appreciation. And in those 90 days, my results in my whole life skyrocketed. I started an amazing podcast. I was paid more for coaching than I had been in years after starting my business. I was more fulfilled and satisfied and content and happy in my daily life than I had ever been before. And from there, I began to put my attention on giving my gifts to the world, being of service to the world, shifting into the realm of, I'm already taken care of, and my purpose here is to give love to others. So I eventually came to the point where people pay me to be around me, both in the context of being a coach, also in group coaching, also in public speaking, workshop development, event production. And now I'm happier, more satisfied, more fulfilled, more content than I've ever been in my whole life. And again, I tell you this story just to let you know my journey and the pitfalls I've gotten stuck in and the places I've gone, the mistakes I've made, so that you don't have to in creating what you're committed to in sex, in romance, in love, in relationships, in your social life. So you're in one of two places right now. Either I've scared you off, or you're the one who I'm speaking to who 100% needs this. You're the one who knows that this is exactly a divine appointment for you to receive the knowledge, the expertise, the downloads to make your life easier, to stop the suffering. So I'm going to talk to you about the 3 massive mistakes that Trekkies make in creating the social and sex lives of their dreams. 1, the first massive mistake is believing on a subconscious level, like I did, that you're unworthy of love, and thinking that you need to do something out here in order to be okay, in order to be lovable, in order to be attractive even. I'm serious about that last one. And once I stopped making this mistake in that 90-day sex, romance, relationship fast, something happened for me that was mysterious and profound, that had never happened before in my whole life. I went to this party and women were grinding on me. They were attracted to me. They were throwing themselves at me. Why? Well, we could talk about harnessing and managing sexual energy. We could talk about how I wasn't seeking their validation or their approval, and they could feel it off of me, that I didn't need them, and I didn't need anyone in order to be happy or content with myself. Now, if you change your life and you begin to focus on nurturing, nourishing, and building yourself rather than getting validation out here because you think that you need to prove that you're lovable, that will change everything for you. So we could stop right here, and that might change your whole life if you put that into action. But we've got 2 more mistakes. So the second mistake is critical. In the second mistake, people are going outside of themselves to chase women or to cause social skills in themselves that make people outside of them respond better. And here's the thing, you can get a certain level of satisfaction or accomplishment or achievement through that. But it's not going to be fulfilling. It's not going to be satisfying. It's not going to be aligned, and it's not going to be healthy. When I did this fast, I started to realign with the solution to this mistake, which is creating a mission that is more important than sex or love or relationships or being social. Having a mission like Kirk or Janeway or Picard or Cisco or Archer or Burnham, right? For those of you who are fans of Discovery. And when you have a mission, what does that do for you? Well, when you're satisfied in the pursuit of something that matters to you, people are more fulfilled around you. When you're happy with what you're up to on your own, people want to be around you because you're already happy. We all have this intuitive sense that we are here on this planet to do something with ourselves, to make something of ourselves. We're here for a reason. We're here with a mission and with a purpose. And when we discover that and we start doing it, people take notice and people are more attracted and people flock to us easily and effortlessly in ways that take little effort. Little effort for us because it's fun. So what I created was an event production company called Empowering Austin Now, where I give my gifts to resonant people. I create events where people pay me to be around me. I don't think you understand this. People pay me to be around me. So my last 2 long-term relationships showed up because I was aligned with my purpose, because I was following my mission and someone saw me going a certain direction and said, hey, I'm attracted to you. In fact, one of those, my fiance, she paid me to come to the event where she met me. How crazy is that? 3 months later, we're dating and we're in the greatest relationship of my whole life. So I want you to consider a quote from Star Trek First Contact. Commander Riker is talking to Zefram Cochrane in a situation that actually is really resonant with this. Zefram Cochrane's talking about, well, you know, I did all of this for dollar signs, for money, and naked women on a tropical island. And you may think you want that, and you may actually want that. I'm not here to dispute that. But Riker comes back with, you had a vision, and now we're sitting in it. And I quote this at every one of my events. Why? Because my gifts are something that fill up the world. And when I align with my purpose and validate myself, something else becomes possible, where people flock to me, where the women that I want to be with and have around me, they are attracted to me. I don't have to chase them. So these are the first 2 massive mistakes. And again, you could take what I've given you right now, you could go and you could change your whole life super dramatically. But we've got one more mistake, and this is the most critical. The 3rd massive mistake that Trekkies make in trying to create the social and sex lives of their dreams is not having a mentor that understands their journey. Now, you may have been at any of the spaces I've shared on this journey. Awkward, alienated, feeling alone, wanting to connect more. You may have the desire to be a social virtuoso, to be able to create affinity and connection and love and desire. And it's possible you can do that. And you may finally have hit a wall where you realize that maybe the ways that you've been doing these things or achieving these goals are bankrupt and are ultimately harmful to your soul and to your health and to your heart. And so, you know, if I hadn't had mentors on my journey who saw where I was at and had been there themselves and had already moved through it and could give me a hand down and pull me up out of the mud, I would not be standing in front of you where I am now today. So having a mentor who understands your journey, who's been where you're at, and can pull you out of the muck and bring you where you want to go is the most critical of the mistakes that people are making. They're out there thinking, I can do this all on my own. So what I'm here to do is to be that bridge, is to offer to be that shortcut. So I said I'd offer a free gift valued at $500 at the end of this video. Here it is. For a limited time, I am opening up my calendar for free From Reject to Rockstar strategy sessions. You heard that right. From reject, like I was, to social rockstar, as you can be. And I've got a lot of people that I'm working with. I don't have a lot of time, and I'm opening a limited number of spaces on my calendar for a limited time for us to have one-on-one free strategy sessions. And what this will look like is you will get a crystal clear vision of the social and sex life that you are birthed to create. That is, it's your birthright to have this kind of bliss. Number two, we will look at the challenges and blocks that have prevented you from having what you want. Number three, and this is most important of all, you will leave refreshed, re-energized, reinvigorated to go out there and create what you want. You will be empowered to create what you want. So I highly recommend you click the link below to sign up for your strategy session. I'm putting this in front of thousands and thousands of Trekkies over the next couple weeks, and you want to grab it while you get your chance. Finally, I want to say I understand where you are. You may have been crying yourself to sleep, as I was for many years. You may have been confused and burying your nose in books or movies or TV shows, hiding out from the fact that you feel so awkward and anxious and uncertain and confused about how to relate to other people in general, and the opposite sex in particular. You may feel frustrated and anxious. You may feel resigned and cynical about what's possible for you in creating what you want to create. My heart is open to you. I understand. I've been where you are, and I'm here to help. So come grab that free strategy session, and for a limited number of people, I will make an offer for them to work one-on-one with me for 3 months to create the relationship, the sex, the social life of their dreams. Thank you for taking the time to invest in yourself today, to watch this video, to learn from me, to get what you need, to create what you want, and live long and prosper.